Just a moment, just a second.
Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people think that the physical things define what's within, and I've been here before. That life's a ball, so full of the superficial. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything. It means nothing if I ain't got.
Hello, how are you doing, Albert?
Yeah. Some people
Good
say
evening to you. How are you doing? I can see about 3 people is joined.
promises forever.
I wish and I hope I'll be able to make this,
Some people
a little bit faster, quick. I don't want to be live, for too long. Good evening to you. I don't know what part of the world you're listening to me from or you're watching me from, but tonight I'd like to share something with you. Coming to you as a mature single woman. That's what I'm coming to you as this evening or this day. And, I did say that every now and then I like to come on board, especially on Sunday evenings, to just chat with you all single men and women, especially those who are really, really mature. When I say mature, you're in your 40s, you're in like 35 and above, you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, and you're not married yet. I like to, connect with you every now and then. I like to share some things with you every now and then. I like to encourage you. I like to pray with you, if you permit me, if you wish, if you like. Something that other people don't know about one of the things that I do is that some time ago, I think about last year, I set up a network for those who are single mom, single dad, divorced men and women, never been married men and women, and it was a platform on WhatsApp. We also have that on YouTube, on Instagram. It's called Single with a Purpose. Single with a Purpose. And I did that because I felt, it was something that sometimes we need to be able to talk to one another. We need to have some sort of information that helps us to either break the chains or either, for us to cross certain boundaries in life. And so, I was determined to, to share certain things with people and to become as vulnerable as possible as I share with people. We also started that network. It's like I said, it's called Single with a Purpose. We started it also on WhatsApp group, but I wasn't really too satisfied, because people sometimes just like to, read what other people have to share, and they wouldn't, engage. So I decided that, let me just keep it on social media, and every now and then, have something to communicate with other people. So tonight, I I'm going to be sharing something that actually every now and then I go through, and it makes me to also ask other people if they go through it. And I found out that yes, other people go through it as well. Other singles go through it. And I will also be telling you why I think you should be able to knock yourself out of it. And that's talking about being desperate. Sometimes, you can't help it feeling desperate. Sometimes you get to hear the good news. Other people are getting married. Someone who is far younger than you are is getting married, is doing this, doing that. And you begin to have that sense of desperation, sense of being in a hurry. And you get to that point where you're not just even sure about anything. I mean, all your standards, all your expectations, they get to fly out of the window simply because you're drowned into that space of desperation. So tonight, I would like to let you know that when you get into that period, that moment of desperation, it's not that it's not that you violated any rule, or it's not that it's a bad thing, but it's just a hi DSA, it's so good to see you. But it's just that it's not a good place to be when a single woman or a single man is desperate. Because when you're desperate, people can easily take advantage of you. You end up in wrong places with wrong people. So you make wrong choices, all right? So it's something that I need to talk about, and there is nothing to be ashamed of. I remember many years ago, people would say, oh, don't show the guy that you're desperate. When a guy or a lady knows that you're desperate, oh, it's a shameful thing. As far as I'm concerned, in my own dictionary, there is nothing to be ashamed of. It's just an outrageous, outlandish emotion that needs to be tamed, as far as I'm concerned. There is nothing to be ashamed of, because these feelings, they are things that God has put inside of us. But it's just that when you don't use them properly, appropriately, they tend to rule us. And because it's a wicked world, people don't share your values, they don't share your expectations, they're not ready to share what you are out there for. Hey, hello sis, how are you doing? Thank you. So people are not ready to share your values, your expectation. They tend to want to take advantage. Have you ever seen how a lot of good girls, or good guys, they end up with bad boys, or bad girls, good girls end up with bad boys end up with good girls, and all of that, and you begin to wonder what happened, how come? But I will tell you, one of the reasons that happens most times is because someone couldn't see. Most times, I'm not saying some of this relationship, I'm not saying they wouldn't work, but sometimes it's just someone going overboard. So I'm just going to tell you tonight, it's all about charging you to tame those outlandish emotions, those outrageous emotions. For instance, you know me now. I get to be vulnerable as much as possible. I get to become naked before you. I guess maybe that's what being a broadcaster does for you. Being a journalist, that's what it does for you. So I joined a gym recently, okay, and it was necessary for me to join, a fitness center. I don't know if this music is too, it's getting to me, so let me just pause the music, and then so that you can hear me properly, nothing is interfering. So now I joined a gym, and I joined the gym because, as I normally say to people, I'm not, whether I'm 50, whether I'm 60, I am never ever supposed to be a big person. My bones are small, so the moment I'm getting to like 79, 80 kg, I begin to get overweight. Before you know it, 81, 82, I'm obese. That's the way it is with me, okay? And people get to look at me and like, oh no, there is nothing big about you. There is nothing. I'm not a big person. I've always accepted that, but I have tendency to be big. I have that tendency. And the moment I get to be like 75, I begin to have, health issues, and all of that. My knees can take me. Already I have, one or two neurological issues, but that I've been managing for years, So adding weight to it seems like a lot, and I'm usually a busy person. I work a lot. I go on locations, and all of that. So when I'm standing too much, it tells on me when I'm doing. So anyway, so I had to conquer my weight. So I joined a gym, and I also read somewhere that one of the nicest places, apart from church, apart from the clubs, the lounge, the cinemas, one of the nicest places for you to meet guys will be the gym. So, and I was like, okay, so let's use like one stone to kill like 20 birds, get yourself all together. Hey, I see you. I Adija Motori, but thank you. So I said to myself, okay, so let's use like a stone to kill 10 birds, and maybe I guess I might meet that some fine dude, meet new people, and business network or connection and all of that, and more so get to go outside my work confinement, outside my laptop, outside my phone, because I'm always, like glued to my phone, my laptop, working. A lot of the things I do are basically online. So I said, okay, it would be nice for you to go out, get to meet people, get to get your sexy body back. So anyway, I joined the gym, and my goodness, oh boy, Lord have mercy. Lord Jesus, have mercy on me. My goodness, I see, oh, fine guys day. My bro, Boyega, how you doing? It's so good to have you. It's good to see you. All right, so I saw fine guys, kai. But man, God did try you. And of course, there were fine girls too, with nice butts, flat tummy, curvy shape, and then there were also those, with the big bellies, like me, and everything out of shape and all that. They boku for gym, and then the gym, the exercise wear or the sporting wear we wear, the bra, sports bra, all of the tight, you get to see all sorts of things. But I was fascinated because I saw a couple of ladies with great bodies, nice shapes. So nice shapes that I was like, Lord, why is mine like this? Why is my tummy like this? Why are my cheeks like this? Okay, so I saw those ones, but aside seeing all of those ones, the ones that really fascinated me the most, because I don't do women. I mean, I'm not a lesbian. I don't do women. I like guys. I love men. Okay, so I saw guys, young, old. Yeah, well, when I say old, like not so old, but you know, they're like, you know, mature men. And I saw young boys or young guys and nice shape, well, you know, hangers, you know, six packs, abs, and all of that, well structured. And for the first 1 week, my eyes were like this, and it was almost like I kept seeing potential husbands all over the place. All over the place. I mean, I would look at this guy like, I like him. I like his shape. And sometimes I go past, I just hope nobody from my gym is watching this or will ever watch this. I just pray. And then sometimes, you know, some of these guys that walk past, some have nice odor, you know, nice perfume. And you're like, oh, like you begin to wonder, is he married? Does he have a girlfriend? Okay, so maybe he has a girlfriend, maybe he's not married, maybe he doesn't have children, maybe he has a good job, maybe he's single and searching, you know, and all of that. And so many things, you know, just keep playing on in your mind. So, and I got talking to someone, and the person said, no, it's not abnormal. It's not abnormal for you to get to have some sort of imagination, because that's where your desire is. You know, you desire to be married, but you're not married. You desire to have a man of your own, but you don't have. So there is always this tendency that in your heart of heart, you're shopping. You know, you're shopping, you're assessing, you're making things, you know, you're trying to assess. So I just want to let you know, single ladies, single men out there, please don't beat yourself down if you find yourself in that position where you keep assessing every woman, every man that come your way. It's just the emotion. All right, don't beat yourself down to it. So that's number one thing I'm going to say to you. Okay, for me, I'll just say you have a healthy emotional, you know, structure. Because if God has given you the eyes and you don't get to see all of this lovely men and women, it means that you have a problem as far as I'm concerned. You know, I mean, if David was, you know, saw Bathsheba, I mean, so many other men in the Bible, Boaz saw Ruth, and so many others. But you see, where the problem will now be is when you're not able to tame that straying eyes. When you allow your eyes to control and send signals into your head, your mind, and you begin to claim what is not yours or what may never be yours. For instance, but I did overcome, you know, that state of seeing every man as a possible potential husband potential. I did overcome it because I got to a point where I told myself that, look, first of all, when any of these people, if they ever come, they will be your friend. You would like to know who they are, what they represent, what their values are, you know, what they believe in, their spirituality and all of that. So by the time I take myself through a whole lot of that process, I began to see them as being men, which they were, and not potential husbands. because that's dangerous. It means that if 5 of those men come, there is a possibility that I begin to give all of them access to me. And I think one of the worst things for any woman or man is not just women, because people will always say, oh, as a woman, no. I'm talking to both single men and single women, especially the mature ones from 35 above. One of the most dangerous things is when you begin to give access to every Tom and Jerry, Nika, Chukwedu, Aisha, Buhari, and all of that. That is where the danger comes in. Your presence should be valuable. When a man or a woman comes to knowing you, they should be able to place value, some sort of value, into knowing, into the knowledge they're coming into, because you're a precious stone. You're a woman and a man of value, of great value. So when a man has that opportunity to come into your presence, let it be a privilege. Let them feel privileged, to come into your presence or to gain access to you. So that's where I would say tame it. Okay, remember I said there is nothing wrong if you begin to fantasize, imagine, okay, probably that could be my husband or my wife and all of that. There is nothing wrong about that. But where the problem will not be is control. The moment you lose that control, then I'm telling you, every Tom, Dick, and Harry comes into your life. And when they do that, they get to mess you up. They get to mess you up totally. All right, so that for me leads to desperation. So, and I'm saying that once in a while, trust me, I think we're just human. And sometimes we get to meet some holier than thou crazy people who would tell you that, oh, you're too desperate. You're not supposed to be desperate. Oh, you've lost your worth, your dignity as a woman or as a man because you're desperate. Hey, let me tell you something. There is something the Bible says about hope deferred make the heart sick. It means that you begin, when you long so much for something, you lose hope, you lose faith, you lose courage. And that's because you've been so for long expecting something to happen. You've been drooling for something to have a taste of something good, and yet it's not coming. So it's just part of life. It's just part of our humanity. But I normally would just say this: control. Okay, for it not to consume you, because when it consumes you, it could lead you to a state of desperation, whereby you're not just giving people access, but you give them permission. You remove the boundaries, and you allow them to come into your life in full. And you can't even assess what sorts of people are coming into your life. You lose the touch with what you want, your expectations from this people, or from this man or this woman, or from the kind of man you want, from the kind of woman you want. You lose your focus because you've let down your guard. There is no guard anymore. All there is to you is, I just want to have a man of my own. All there is to you is, I just want to have a woman of my own. You don't care who they are, so long as you have them. And trust me, that's the beginning of a terrible relationship, because you're not well put together. You're scattered. You're littered all over the place. Your emotions are littered all over the place. So it's essential that we do not get to be consumed by our expectations, our life expectations, our desires. We do not get to be consumed and overwhelmed, because they will lead us to another side of life. Desperation comes in, like I said earlier on. Bitterness comes in. Unforgiveness comes in. anger, pain comes in, because you're just you'll even get to a point of getting bitter with God, because you can't understand it. What have you done? That you're not as bad as this other person, Mr. A or Miss B, and yet you're not married, you don't have kids of your own, and time is going and nothing seems to be happening. Nobody seems to be knocking on your doors, saying, hello, what's up, fine girl? Or no babe seems to look at you like a man, like, oh man, I desire him, I don't mind him. You get to feel, what is wrong with you? God, why did you create me the way you've done? Why is my own life like this? Why me? You get to ask questions and you become bitter. You miss out on life on a daily basis. And so that's why I'm saying to you, don't get to that point of desperation, because it leads to a point of regret, okay? It doesn't allow people to grow. I've been there, and I'm sharing from my experience. I'm someone, I'm not going to be telling you what Google says about relationship or about being single, but I'm going to be telling you what it's been like, my life experience and journey, and from what I've also seen from other people, and from those I've also encouraged who are single men and women, who I've talked to, those who's lost their wives, their husbands, and at the age of 50 something, 58, 60, they're lonely, 40, they're lonely, and all of that. So I'm going to be sharing a lot, with you from real life experience. But in all of it, I would say for you to not lose control, so that you do not get into a place of desperation. So I'm going to just share 1 or 2 points with you as a man, as a woman, that's, how to spot when you're being desperate, or how to know when you're being desperate. Sometimes we don't even know that we're being desperate, all right? We can't even tell, but other people can see us and say, But it's for us to know and to be able to slow down, because you don't want to end up in a bad relationship. We make bad choices because we're desperate, because we're too much in a hurry, because we want to by fire, by force, be in a relationship, be married, and all of that. So I'm just going to be sharing 1 or 2 things with you. Number 1, is it that you fall too fast? You get to see a guy and then your heart is just beating boom, 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 boom. And, before you know it, you're already like kissing, you find yourself, you're already, in a compromising situation with this woman or man. They already know your house after 1 week or 2, and you're already having sex and all of that. Before it gets to that point, please do slow down. So that in the bazaar of the hour of desperation, you have clarity in your mind, and you can be able to decipher if this person is someone you like to open up to. Okay, so I'm just saying that you need to check the level of your heart rate, the level of how you fall for that person. It's very important. I mean, if you find yourself, asking on the first dates or even on the third dates, so what are we doing? What are we up to? Where are we going? Then you know that you need to slow down. I think friendship should be the bedrock of a good relationship. Friendship should be the very first thing. And many times, people just get into a relationship and under 1 week they say, where is all of this going? I need to know. I want to know. Where is all of this going? I like to know. I mean, you don't even know the person yet. You don't even know if the person is a serial killer. You don't even know if this man is a rapist. You don't even know if this woman is a thief. You don't even know if this woman is Olosho. You don't even know anything about them, and you're already asking yourself, where is all of this going? Where is all of this taking us to? So I'm just going to say to you, please do slow down. Enjoy friendship. It's very important for you to enjoy friendship first and then see how it goes, okay? Don't conclude too fast. That's just one of the things I'm just going to say to you. Then, have you ever met someone who is always clinging? You want them to call you in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night. You talk all day, all morning. The thing is shocking you and all of that. Hey, I'm not saying it's not good, for you to be so attached that you guys, you're like 5 and 6. But the truth of the matter is, real life, it's usually not going to be like that. So being too clingy is something that does not make a relationship to work. Give yourself space. But then again, you find some people, I've met someone a guy who said to me, you know what, I'm not a calling person. I really don't know how to text. I really don't know how to call and all of that. And he doesn't call maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And when he calls, he forgets that he made a promise the last time maybe we spoke. That's different. If you're in that kind of knowing me, knowing you kind of relationship with such a person, know that the person is not into you and they're not going to be committed. They're not ready to be committed to you. So I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about someone who will say, I'm not good at communicating. I'm not good at calls. I'm not good at sending text messages. I'm not good at anything at all. So how do you want to maintain communication line? How do you want to open up communication line so that you can be able to know this person on a daily basis without you necessarily going to spend the night in that person's house? You need to be able to communicate with them, all right, without you removing certain boundaries. So, but then again, being too clingy, also tells that you're insecure. It tells that you're afraid of losing this person. And that is like the genesis of being insecure. Because at every moment you tell yourself, you can't let this person out of your sight. At every moment you feel, oh, this person can't be trusted. You want to know what they're doing. Meanwhile, you have your own life ahead of you. You can't be independent because this person is all the sum total of your life. And I think that, every human being should be able to be independent, because look, time and chances happen to them all. Aside that, for all you know, what happens in the case of eventuality? In the last couple of days, or even last year, or up to this year, I've had friends, husbands, wives, women die, husbands die, leaving their wife, leaving their women to nurture themselves, leaving the husband to nurture himself and the children. So are you saying that your life will not go on? And I've also had friends who, I know of someone, a former commissioner in Oyo State who passed on, I think sometime last year. Makes it a year that he's been gone. And trust me, his wife died less than 9 months later, leaving 2 children. So young, well, they're not so young, they're youth, but they still need direction. They've not grown to a point of being empowered financially. And there it is. So when you become so clingy, like my husband is my everything, my wife is my life, when what you take has been life, when it's been taken in a form of death, or in a form of they walking out on you, out of that marriage, then everything about you shatters, everything about you crumbles. And it just feels like you can't go on anymore. And for some people, they actually don't go on anymore. They fall sick, they die. High blood pressure, they die. So I'm just saying that one of the beauty about being single, not to say that, you know, everything in life doesn't come with pros and cons, you know, but one of the things that being single in life has done for me is to be able to live independently. And I feel that whether you're married, whether you're single, you should learn to live your life independently. I mean, to live it and live it well. To say, look, yes, I'm married, but I'm going to have a structure that makes me to be independent, not dependent on anybody, on any man or woman. Bible says, woe is he or is him or her that puts their trust in men. Some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but our trust is in the name of the Lord. So your investment, your emotional clinging should be a spiritual one to your Creator, because it is He that will always constantly hold you. No man can do it. No man can hold their breath and say, my dear, now me and you till we are 80. Nobody has that you know, power. So you've got to be able to detach yourself from that, you know, hold that men or women might have on you. So the moment you're becoming very clingy, it can be very annoying, and to some men and women, they just quickly run. They know that this one, not desperado, doesn't care, you know, about anything. She just wants a ring on it. That's just it. So you need to watch out for that. The moment you realize that you're becoming clingy, treat it, deal with it, you know, deal with it. And you get to see some ladies every now and then. It's all about, will you marry me? When are you going to marry me? Oh, I can't wait for us to get married. I can't, you know, all of that shows and tells that you're in a state of desperation. And it will take God, you know, for you not to make mistakes, for you not to enter into a wrong relationship, because you're desperate. You can't see. You can't even assess what is before you. I remember, I'm not going to mention the actress name, you know, she was so desperate to want to get married. And then maybe after a year or something, she said, oh, this guy is a yahoo guy. He's a this, he's a liar, he's a this, he's a that. In my own heart of heart, I feel that really she was telling the truth, that the guy was a scammer, was a yahoo guy. But, you know, because she was just so desperate, she couldn't just see it all. She ended up paying for everything, from her wedding gown to the reception, to the party, to the everything. She paid for it. And she couldn't see that the guy was just, you know, using her, leading her on. And that's what desperation can cause. I mean, I've met a man who said, I mean, you know what, I love you so much, I like you, and I want you to be the woman. I know you're the woman for me. I know you're going to be the mother of my kids, and all of that. That was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. And you know, this was like a month meeting him, and he was always just hitting hard on me. And in my heart, I'm like, Lord, this must be you. This must be it. But you know, when I get confused about other people, what I do is I meet people who are not within my situation, and I get to tell them. And a lot of times my eyes, my mind is enlightened. So I told a sister of mine, I don't know if she's watching, I told a sister of mine And my sister, like, have you found out, do you know his wife is late? I said, yes, I do. And I told her some of the things that said, to cut the long story short, this fella was looking for, I don't know, should I say a nanny? Should I say a caregiver for his children and for himself? That was what he was looking for. Okay? That was what he was looking for. And I would have been a victim. I would have head straight up into that kind of relationship. And, I was also excited, that, oh, he has children. I mean, wonderful. I would love to meet his children and all of that. I didn't mind. But from everything, he was just looking for a woman who doesn't have children, who is strong enough to keep his home front while he goes on to do his business. So, ladies, you've got to be careful. Men, you've got to be careful. But you see, a lot of times, men don't usually, most times, fall prey like we women would do. I mean, I had a friend who, a couple of years ago, I think at that time she was 40. So by now she should be now like 45, thereabouts. Okay, so she had a kid. She was divorced, so she was just all like, look, I want to settle down. I just want to settle down, and I smelled a bit of desperation. So I said, you know what, you've got to take this thing easy. It's not like I don't want to settle down, but you've come to a place, a time, a position where you really need to be, take some things a little bit slower that you would have done when you were much younger. And on Facebook, she was really trying out spots everywhere, social media dating and online dating and all of that. So she met this particular guy on Facebook, and it got a little bit serious, and then they finally got to meet, and he liked her child. At that time the child was 10, and she was in the banking industry, she was a top management staff right there. So now guess what, this particular fellow, I think, smelt her desperation, and he came up with good story, nice story. And he this is one of the stories again. Oh, my business, I'm expecting a container from China, I need to clear it. I don't have money. I need I think he needed like 2.5 million naira, to clear it and all of that. He'll give her back the money if she can loan him and all of that. My dear, because my friend had been scammed, in the name of love before, so she don't learn her lesson. I don't open. So she too would just, my dear, I don't have that kind of money. I don't have that kind of money. See, forget all this, my Jeep, all these things you're seeing. That Jeep, I've not finished paying the loan. This one I'm owing. I don't have that kind of money. Let us pray. In fact, join us together and they will pray. So, what I'm saying to you is, there are so many guys out there, all they're just looking for is to eat you and suck you dry. There are so many women out there, all they're looking for is to eat you and suck you dry. And then, lastly, before I take my leave, sometimes we try too hard to be pleasing. We want to just please this guy. We want to just please this woman. She asked for, 250,000 naira. She asked for money. She asked for this. Even when it's not convenient, you just want to please them, please them, please them. You can't even say no. Please, those are issues, real issues for you to deal with, to tell you that you're desperate. You're desperate, you want to settle down at all cost. and everything gotten by force at all cost, never ever do they end well. All right, so these are just a few things I'd like to share with you today, okay, and to let you know that your own water will not pass you by. Your own blessing, your own husband, your own wife will not pass you by. I know it looks like time is going, and not that it looks like, time is actually going. You know, time is going. There are people who know you and who will say to you, oh, don't you know that time is not on your side as a woman? There are people who've known you for a long time, and because they have the same blessing you are looking for, because they have it, they feel that they have the right to now be able to tell you what your life should be about, or to now be able to judge you. But what I'm just going to say to you, do not let anybody intimidate you with their own blessings. The fact that they got married at the age of 25, and yes, you're now 48, you're not married, or you're 50, you're not married, doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Sometimes it doesn't even mean that you make wrong choices. Sometimes it's just life. Life happens. And then sometimes it could be that we made wrong choices. But whatever it is, please live your life to the fullest. If you need to lose that weight, if you need to go out more, if you need to listen to music, enjoy yourself, radiate the glory of God, please do. Life is tough. The things that people hold as value sometimes hurt us as they come back to us to spite us. But please, I know I might be speaking in so much, sounds like proverb, like some sort of proverbs that I'm speaking in. But I will just say to you, please, don't lose your peace. Don't lose your joy. Don't lose your happiness because you're not married yet, because you don't have that blessing that other people have. You don't have it yet, okay? Don't lose hope. Live your life to the fullest. And each time you find yourself depressed, down, desperate, please talk to someone who wouldn't judge you, who know you and know you so well. The other thing I found out about people, well, I've always known this about people, is that even those who are not in right standing with God, when they get that moment of righteousness or that right standing with God, they tend to want to tell you, or they tend to want to judge you, forgetting that they have moments of backsliding into what is not. Okay? For me, nobody should judge anybody. The fact that I got married before you does not mean that you are less of a human being. And it doesn't mean that God doesn't love you. The fact that I had children before you doesn't bring or should cause disrespect for you. It doesn't mean that I should disrespect you. It only means that I should see you as someone of value going somewhere to happen. And great things, I hope, and I believe, we trust God, would happen for you. So keep hope alive, okay? Keep hope alive and keep doing what you're doing. Make sure you're busy. Make sure you keep getting busy, and make sure you keep touching lives. Because when we get to heaven, from what I know, from the account of the holy books, we wouldn't be married in heaven. There is no marriage in heaven. You will be Boyega, I will be Gwendolyn. You will be standing alone, and other people will be standing alone also, not as husband and wife. So please ensure that you live your life to the fullest. So this is where I will call it a wrap. I hope it made some sense, and I will try so much to come again next Sunday. Hopefully, I'm not tired, I'm not too busy, and all of that. I have good network, and I have the strength. I will be coming up next week Sunday. Okay, so keep living your best life, and thank you very much. Let me just listen to a little,
I wanted you. You become my second heart. You become my everything. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be the man I am today. I need you to come through.
This is one of the things I do best. I love listening to music, all right, and I love dancing. Well, my best genre is, basically gospel. All right, got to go. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. I am Lady Gwen. In case you don't know, I'm Lady Gwen. Nice for all of you to have joined. And please do share this video when you get to watch it. Bye-bye.